When we think of an enterprise or a business or any type of an organization, think about Apple. Apple Electronics and what that company is worth and what it produces and why it does what it does. What's the point? Think about Tesla and how profitable that is. Think about you buy a piece of property and you improve it and you sell it and you realize a gain. It's worthwhile. That endeavor is worthwhile. As a community, you consider data centers because of the revenue, the potential revenue, and what it may bring to your neighborhood or your community. Pros and cons. When we think about car companies or computer companies or real estate transactions or yacht building, building large diesel engines, it could be anything. What's the motive? What's the gain? What's the profit? What's the benefit? And we're hearing a lot lately about waste, fraud, and abuse, and how inefficient our government is operating. Not our country. United States of America writ large is thriving and it's doing great. We have bad management. We have management that is risking the existence of the entire endeavor, abroad and domestically. There's no reason in the world the United States of America, that entity, that endeavor, that enterprise, isn't the most profitable and beneficial enterprise on the planet, in the history of the planet. If you're an Alaskan native, you get a dividend check because of the oil revenue that they get. You don't pay income taxes. You don't pay real estate taxes. Florida doesn't pay one of the taxes, I can't remember which, because they get so much revenue from people coming in as tourists and spending money. They get income that way, so the residents get a break. I don't know if it's, I can't remember if it's income tax or real estate tax, which one it is, but nonetheless, there's no reason on the planet that every American doesn't receive, not only doesn't pay tax, but doesn't receive a dividend check because of how profitable, and I'm not just talking profit, like it's not all about profit all the time, doing global good works and stuff, whatever. But I think we're coming to realize, I think there's a dawning realization that our entire nation has been so mismanaged that we, the citizens, are being bled dry. And what they're bleeding from us is going to the most absurd, repugnant, inefficient, disgusting things. And the fraud and not just bad judgment, but fantastic judgment, really great execution of embezzlement and money laundering. And the people that object to that, to what's going on with the federal government right now, the people that object to that the most, to a man, I'll guarantee you they're on the tit. They're profiting and they're benefiting from the status quo of the waste, fraud, and abuse. Who would have thought it was the conservative party, and I'm not going to say Republican or Democrat, but whoever would have thought that it would be the conservative party that's the party of upsetting the apple cart and disrupting the status quo? I mean, this revolution and, burn it all down and, disruptor, that talk my entire 58 years of life, that talk has always come from the radical left. Another fascinating facet of this to consider is, in my 58 years, all we've heard is this, blah, 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 about that. Obama, that piece of shit, he actually said that, and said with his pen and his phone, he was going to stamp out corruption and waste and fraud and abuse. Ha ha ha. Bill Clinton, his predecessor, said the era of big government is over. What a heaping, smoldering pile of hypocrisy. Giddy up, boys and girls. I'm tired of being bled dry, only to have what they're bleeding from me go to corrupt criminals that hate everything I stand for. I'm up to here with that. I'm done. And I think an overwhelming majority of you are as well. Many people have no idea of what motivates me and so many of my fellow countrymen. If you do this, if you're going to destroy the system and eggs are going to be $30 a dozen and gas is going to be $15 a gallon and so on and so on. They have no idea the privations I'm willing to live under in order to get rid of this corruption and live under a true, square, just country. Because I know that country is going to lead to prosperity that we've never seen before. I would happily revert back to a quality of life and a standard of living of 1830 if it brought an end to this absolute corruption and embezzlement and theft. I would hunt my own dinner. I would carry water. And I think an awful lot of my fellow countrymen would as well. So this threat of, oh my goodness, crocodile tears and clutching at pearls about inflation and upsetting the status quo, it's not falling on deaf ears. We hear you. And we know who you are. And if you're having sleepless nights or panic attacks or anxiety, I got two things for you. One, good, you deserve it. And two, you ain't seen nothing yet.